this happens to we end up at 6th or 5th or whatever the case may be, or if we end up in the playoff, whatever that thing is, whoever came up with that need to be fired. But whatever.
So he says whoever came up with the play-in tournament should be fired. Our friend Frank Isola tweeted, "Great thing about player empowerment is you're never held accountable, like agreeing to a play-in tournament then calling for someone to be fired because of it. Similar to Kawhi making the Clippers move heaven and earth to get PG-13, and when it fails, Doc got fired." That's power. That's an interesting perspective, and let's get into it. Oh, look who's here. Kendrick Perkins and Zach Lowe are ready to go. Big Perk, I'll start with you. We touched on this briefly yesterday, but what do you think of that? LeBron now all of a sudden calling out the play-in tournament. What is your reaction?
You know what, Greeny? You know, Braun is my guy. You know how I feel about him, but man, he is so wrong in my opinion. When I look at the play-in tournament, you know what? Part of it, you could blame organizations and the players, because for every action, it's a reaction. And load management is part of the reason probably today that we have play-in tournaments. Hold guys accountable. Hold organizations accountable. No more tanking. No more load management. You know, now guys they can't afford to take regular season games for granted no more. Greeny, here it is, right? You have people who pay their hard-earned money now that arenas are back open to come to games, bring their families to games, whatever the case may be, to come see certain stars. The stars may not play. You can't do that no more. I love the play-in tournament. I'm a huge fan of it. Hey, and it is what it is.
You are so right, and I am so happy to hear you say that. Zach Lowe, what do you think of all this?
I love the play-in tournament too. And look, the Lakers have been hit harder by injuries than almost any team in the league. Every team got hit by the virus and injuries, but when you lose 2 of the top 6 players in the NBA, including the best player for that amount of time, you've been hit harder. But you know what? Everyone gets hit, and everything Perk said is true. Less tanking, more stars playing. And last night was the whole point of the play-in tournament. A Nuggets-Lakers game was must-watch TV, and the Lakers without LeBron James gutted it out against the Nuggets team, by the way, that's missing Jamal Murray, Monte Morris, Will Barton, and doing nothing but winning and no whining at all. And the Lakers gutted out in thrilling fashion. And guess what, Greeny? Most projection systems now have them about 80 to 85% likely to finish 5th or 6th, which gives them like a 98% chance of making the playoffs. All of a sudden, all is right in the world. Everything's fine because of one game that was exciting because of the play-in tournament. And also, Warriors-Pelicans, exciting because of the play-in tournament. 2 stars who might be left out of the playoffs if not for this play-in possibility.
And so how about this idea that all of a sudden, you know, the Mavericks might be in it, so Mark Cuban doesn't like it, and now the Lakers might be in it, so LeBron doesn't like it. Zach, I mean, it seems everyone loves the play-in tournament idea until they might wind up in it.
And look, I was sympathetic to Mark Cuban saying this season is just a horror show. The amount of games, they're relentless, the injuries, the virus. Why are we adding stuff to this season? I was sympathetic to that plank of the argument. But look, I hope that this event goes well. I hope that it draws ratings and makes money, because I think it's good for the league. And I hope that this sort of bevy of criticism happening now doesn't turn the ownership against it.
I totally agree with you. And finally, Kendrick Perkins, if the Lakers are healthy, if by the time we get there, play-in tournament or not, LeBron, AD, Schroeder, all of them are fine, are they definitively the team to beat in the West?
No, Greeny. I mean, I'm looking at teams like the Utah Jazz, the Phoenix Suns, the Clippers. And here's the thing. I don't see LeBron James coming back 100% healthy no time this season. He looks 60% right now. And Greeny, listen, I know people think working out outside of basketball, running suicides and things to that nature gets you in shape. Nothing gets you in shape like playing the game of basketball. And it may take some guys 10 games, some guys 15 games. So, no, I got a lot of concern there as far as LeBron James being able to get enough games under his belt to really hit his peak and get his workload where it needs to be for him to perform at a high level, because right now he's 60%.
They are our dynamic duo. Big Perk and not. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.